EXTRON 5 C-arm. It's a newer that Image Pros is selling right now. What I like about this machine is obviously the screen size is great. The doctors love this screen size. You just can't beat it. It's very detailed, it's got a good picture. It's also very maneuverable to actually find your way through this. It's very easy. But first I want to show you how maneuverable this is. So this is actually kind of a wide range, and it comes in handy on many occasions, just like being able to move this thing around. You can actually adjust it up and down. So the line of sight where the doctors are working is actually very accommodating. So it's very easy to control. There's a little squeeze handle right here that actually can just maneuver all of this around. So this is just awesome. The screen is awesome. The maneuverability is awesome. How light this machine is very, very, very good and easy to maneuver around. As far as navigating through here, it's simple. It's super simple. Anybody can use this. So you got your exam list here, and then you got your work list here. And those are basically the two main categories that we use. Now you just go to enter a new patient, get all the info in, and then you just hit add, and then you're ready to go. It also has a match, so once the patient's in already, we can just hit match off an ID number, and the patient info and demographics are going to come up. So it's super easy. It also has an emergency mode on here that you can just hit to start taking pictures. The good thing with that is if you're in a hurry and we need to do something on an emergency level, stat level, you can go back and edit this. And I think you can go back and edit this. You might want to cover that because I'm not sure. You might want to check. So from this screen right here, this is where the work list is. You can pre-populate all the patients by putting them in before the exams, and you just click on them. Very simple. Now this screen is big. We have one image on this side, and then the saved image is on this side. So the navigation is great. We love it. The doctors love this. And so yeah, like I said, it's very easy to navigate. You got two settings right here. You got your exam list and your work list. And you just put the patient in on the work list. You want to go to new patient. You have your screen right here with the patient info. And if you have the ID number, you just hit match. And the CRM will actually remember the patient from previous. So it's very simple. It's very easy to edit. Also, there's an edit button down here if you have to go back and edit, and then you can obviously resend those patients or save them however you want. We've used this. We sent the packs before. Actually, we're sending the packs now. Before we were using the USB and uploading them, which was pretty easy also. So comes with a keyboard right here. It's wireless. And it's very simple to navigate through. Like I said, the screen is actually dynamite. It's great. The doctors love it. Like I said, the maneuverability all around is just great. You just squeeze the handle, and it's just maneuvers around pretty easy. You get pretty much a line of sight. You don't really have to move the base around if the doctor's not in the line of sight. You can just grab onto here and kind of move it around a little bit more, up or down, so you don't really have to move the base around a lot. And then actually the base is very light. That's one thing I like about it. It's got nice handles out here, big loops to hang the cords. It's super simple. The wheel locks on here are pretty easy to maneuver. This thing is very light. It's very light to move around. Let's move on to the C here. The actual C arm. We do have another monitor here, which is great. It has a lot of the same functions as this does up here. So you can actually go into it So right here we got our capture button that we can save. We also have a handle here for the X-ray and the save. So there's two different ways to save it. We also have a button here if we don't want to use this handle. We have settings here for collimation, zoom. Also, the X-ray is actually labeled for different body parts. So if I'm hitting shoulder or extremity, the actual settings will adjust to that to get the best picture. Obviously it has an auto, which is great. You can just leave it on auto the whole time, but if you wanted a little more detail, you can actually go into like an L spine or something like that and have a little more visibility. So like I said, it's got zoom, it's got a lot of features. A lot of it actually, which we haven't used, there's quite a bit there. You can also set the settings manually if you want. Adjusting between the high dose, normal, low dose is pretty simple also. You can actually just go into here and actually pick one of these. And it's basically based on symbols. And it takes like a split second for the detector to pick it up and then you're ready to go. The one thing I like about this, I do like the flat panel detector here. It seems like, this isn't like big. If you look at some of the older CMs, you have basically more of a image intensifier there. This is very flat, very streamlined, very nice. Like I said, the machine is actually pretty light. It's very easy to move around. Side to side is pretty easy. The machine is very light. The handles are really smooth. There's not a lot of, you're not like really fighting it. It's actually really smooth. And the locks are pretty easy to maneuver. You don't have to put a bunch of weight on it. You're not really having to slam any feet down to really lock it. It's actually super simple. You have your up and down buttons right here. There's a lock. And it's very simple to go up and down. The levers I do on this machine like the positioning a lot. They're very ergonomically placed. You have your back and forth right here, very simple. And then go to the side if you need the wig wag. It's all right here. So. So right here you have your wig wag. It's pretty simple. You got your motion is pretty smooth. It's pretty smooth. The wig wag is pretty smooth right here. It doesn't, obviously with all the CRMs you only have so much of the wig wag. This is no different than any other machine. But my point is that everything's very even ergonomically placed to grab. And that's what I really appreciate about this machine. It's nice having these levers right here on the same side, right next to each other. So you have your tilt right here. It's very simple. Everything's really smooth. It's not super heavy. And then you have your oblique right here. It's very simple. A lot of times when I'm using this machine, I'm barely touching it to move. I'm barely touching it to move. And it locks properly. Never any issues with the locks or anything like that. And like I said, it's very easy to maneuver around. This actually can be inverted also, turned around, and then you can go over the top with it. And one thing I do like about this oblique right here can go past the 45-degree mark, which is nice. So this is very slick. I like this. If we have to, line things up a little bit better without having to tilt the table. So this does come with a foot pedal. I do like the foot pedal. We don't use it a whole lot. But if you're using this in the cases where, like, maybe a hand surgeon or something like that, or someone's, the position, the C-arm is positioned in a fixed spot, and you have the doctor wanting to operate it, this is perfect. It does work well. It is wireless. There's no cord or plug-in, and that way they can operate the C-arm without having an actual tech sitting right there. It's basically in a fixed position. The connection I like with this, it's very simple to connect this. The connection's back over here. You just pop this plug off and pull it off, put it in, and then you can relock it. It's super simple. It's not hard. You're not fighting any parts on this thing. You're not trying to jam anything together. You're not struggling with anything on this machine. Like I said, everything's very ergonomical. Everything's well placed. You know, these nice handles right here, which most C-arms have. I do like the fact that these are right close together. These two knobs right there.